Hello again. You mean they're gonna build a wall, Fencers? I was going to make a video about just how tanky Fencer was with hammers and with the Great Shield, but then I came across this other item that I never used before and found he's even more tanky. So what I wanted to show off was there's an item in the item for auxiliary items for Fencer underneath the shield column where of course there's one item that gives your shield increased health. So for example, the best one gives you 800% more health to your shield, and it also gives you a greater degree in front of you of how wide your shield is. But I never use the item above that item, and that item actually, what it does is, it costs, like if you choose to reflect your shield, it costs 50% more, so you don't want to use it for reflection. However, it completely reduces knockback and also completely reduces damage reduction taken while you have a shield up, that is. So, and it's 100%. So, not only is the Great Shield 90% of your damage coming in, but that other item shields 100% of the damage, the additional 10% that would have came to you completely. So you're not taking any damage as long as you have your shield up with that item. So it makes missions such as this mission right here, the last mission, such a joke, because the boss can't push you back, and your shield has 800% more health. So mine is at 130,000, so it's not maxed out, but regardless, it's really not important. And what I chose to do is I chose to take two great shields, and I took one blast hole and one spine driver. Looking back, I don't know if the spine driver was the greatest. I probably could have took, I don't know, maybe a Gatling or something, but regardless, this makes also these cosmonauts pretty much a joke as long as you stay behind them, because of the fact the Great Shield has close to 200% angle degrees in front of you because of the item. It's pretty easy. I mean, you only have one dash, of course, but as long as you keep the enemies in front of you, you are almost impenetrable. It's actually absolutely ridiculous. So I'm not sure all the different uses yet as far as how this item can be used. I do like it, of course, on cosmonauts, on colonists, of course. I'm not sure. I'll be trying to search other uses for this item. Initially, my initial thought was, well, instead of taking the 800% increase, you could always take an item that gives you 4 dashes and 3 hops, so that you could have a second setup that gives you speed setup, and then your other setup if you want to pull your shield out. But like I said, I haven't really tested that too much yet. But I'm kind of surprised that they put this item in the game, honestly, because it's, I don't know, 100% damage reduction is absolutely ridiculous. There's also a lower level one in the 40s that does the same thing, but it does 95% damage reduction, which is, still good enough. So that can also be used on, higher level hard and also on hardest, of course. So that's kind of crazy, and I'm kind of surprised. I don't know if it's necessarily completely broken, but I don't know. I feel like with the Tri-Lance and with this shield item, I'm kind of surprised at just how strong they made these classes. I guess it's not that big of a deal, but anyway. So actually, this is my first try doing mission 111. I'm playing online by myself as well, so it's 4x difficulty, and I'm still able to do this first try. There was one time, like obviously when the cosmonauts are down, I'm going to switch shields, and I'm going to reload one shield so that I can always have one full shield and at least one half shield that's up. But other than that, there wasn't too much threat ever. So now I'm just going to fast forward because I finished the mission, but I don't need to show everything that's going on. But yeah, even the next set of cosmonauts, which is the worst, because the next one has the laser cosmonauts, which are so strong. They actually take my shield down quite a bit, but I am able to switch shields, because while you have your shield up, you're able to switch weapons. So I'm able to just switch my other weapon, hold my other shield up, and then just continue. But I think if I would have had a better weapon, I think it would have went better. Honestly, instead of taking the spine driver, I could have took, I don't know, I could have took maybe like I said, the Gatling or something else, I'm not sure. The Stampede, maybe even. But anyway, so that made me think as well as for some ideas as far as what I could do with this setup. So I I decided to, after this mission, I decided to take a flamethrower and a ion shield, because usually, you know, the ion shield you never use, which is the little tiny shield. The benefit of the tiny shield is when you turn, there's no, like if you hold your shield up, there's no turning, there's no slowdown from turning, and there's no, and also when you, like for example, the great shield, even if you're just not holding the shield up, it slows down your turning, and then if you hold the shield up, it slows it even more. The next shield down, the one that's like a rectangle, will only slow you down when you have the shield up. When you have the shield released, you can turn fast. And then of course the ion shield, the lowest, the smallest shield, there's no turning penalty at all, whether you have the weapon up or down. So therefore I was thinking maybe you could actually use that with the flamethrower, because I've noticed if you have the flamethrower and you try and hold the shield up and use the flamethrower, it will not work because of the reduced turning penalty. It makes your reticle aim up and up, you know, further up to where you can't hit the enemy. So therefore the ion shield will actually work. And the best ion shield, at least mine, I think, is the degrees in front of you, how much of a degree it covers you, was I think it was in the 90s. So add another 60 on top of that, and it's a pretty decent degree in front of you of coverage for that little tiny shield. And then plus on top of it you can use the flamethrower, which is absolutely ridiculous. I think it does 10 to 12,000 a second, and if you have the enemy in the flame, like his whole body as he's laying on the ground, it does even more damage. So I'm thinking that could be a pretty good setup. But as you can see, finishing up this mission, pretty simple. I do actually get knocked through the map a couple times because of these meteors, which I'm not sure if they intended that, but I would assume not. But I mean, it doesn't break the game because, like I said, you just fall from the sky and land on the ground again. But it seemed like whenever I had my shield up and not trying to dodge the meteors, it would just knock me through the ground. So, but in the way, I could kind of see that being maybe part of their concept, because the rocks actually go into the ground, and it makes me wonder, you know, if that's that's what they actually intended. I don't know. Regardless, it'd be cool. But yeah, first try, complete that mission. I think it's a little strong. So once again, like I said, this time we're going to take this mission with the cosmonauts, and we're going to use the flamethrower and the ion shield combo. And I'm taking two flamethrowers and 2 ion shields so I can swap. But it goes really smoothly, and like I said, the damage is so ridiculous. One thing we did learn was that for the cosmonauts, it seems like they want to head to major streets to get to you. So the way to avoid it from them surrounding you and flanking you is to get to a main street and try and lead them to intersections, because they will tend to take those major roads. So like right here at the start, because of the fact that we're not a major street, they actually wound up flanking, because you can see they're trying to take the roads on the side. And I have noticed that more than once, so I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I mean, they can go across ground if they need to, but it seems like they try and get to the roads for the pathing of their AI. But yeah, right here at the start is a little bit rough because we didn't take him to the roads, and I almost get killed. I think he winds up dying too, but after we learn that, it's a lot smoother. But even this ion shield has 58,000 health, and like I said, there's no penalty, so it's really nice. The only negative of taking this setup is, of course, I have no mobility, so I have to hop everywhere, which unfortunately, but I do speed up the times I actually have to revive. But I'm thinking maybe the ion shield could actually be used now because of the fact that these shield items. So I'm not sure what to think about this. It seems like they're making, I don't know, it seems like they're making the game a little bit easier, which, you know, I guess some people aren't going to mind because, you know, it's fun. I mean, it's fun to be powerful, but I guess I personally like the challenges. I think there's still a challenge in the game, don't get me wrong, but I think some of these items are pretty very strong. So I don't know. Obviously, Ranger is still tough if you take him with no items, or even with items, as long as you don't take too many vehicles on certain missions. But I mean, there's still a challenge to be had. It's just I think it's crazy how overpowered like the Tri-Lance is, and then this item as well. So we'll see how it goes. I'm still very happy with the end game of EDF so far. It's still very challenging. It's still rough. Because I was thinking back, because we were talking about it. Me and Robert here were talking about, it seemed like this game was a little bit easier than 4.1, and as we talked about it more, we realized, well, to be fair, 4.1, the main campaign wasn't that challenging. I mean, there was a handful of missions that were challenging, like Demon Army, and some of the higher ones, the last few missions. But the first 60, 70 missions weren't that difficult. So it's the DLC that was rough. So I think that that's probably still the case. And obviously we've played a lot of EDF, so of course it's going to get easier for us because we know tactics and so forth from the previous game taking forward. But no, it just feels a little bit easier with certain items, at least the Tri-Lance and now this item. So yeah, I almost died there because he actually almost burned me, because I was trying to move out of his fire and he was trying to adjust his fire, and I actually walked into it. And yeah, you can definitely die quickly with that. But yeah, I just wanted to share this with you, this item. I mean, I'm sure that maybe some of you already know about it, but I didn't know about it. I never really experimented much with it because I was always using the dash hops and I was using the increased shield duration, but I wasn't really using the other item. And I tried it with the hammer once, but other than that, I never... Well, not with the hammer. Yeah, with the hammer, because I thought the damage knockback would affect the hammer, but I think it's just a shield. So I was like, why is this not working? But obviously, because it's under the shield column. But yeah, so I just wanted to make a video about this item, and definitely interested in messing around with more missions with this item. I'm curious about how well it'll work with other enemy types, and just seeing how it works. I've noticed, like with the Wasp, it's kind of rough because if they get behind you, you're dead. Depending on how much health you have, of course. And of course, drones can also get behind you, but not too sure about ants and spiders yet, so I'm gonna give that a try and see what I figure out. But I thought this was definitely fun to do. As you can see, those guys, because we were in the intersections and we just hopped backwards after we triggered them, they kind of head towards the main intersection, and then as long as you burn low their legs and they fall down, then it's just, it's so fast once they go down because of the DPS that you have with this weapon. I'm really enjoying the flame revolver as well. I mean, even with dash hopping, you can use it now because it's a hop weapon, and so it's pretty exciting that you can use it more than just underground. So I'm very happy with that change. Plus, having items that allows you to have dashes and hops on one item will also allow you to have no recoil, so you can use that as well in the combination if you want to. So just a lot more combinations to use in this game. So yeah, very happy. This is the last set of enemies here. We finish it off, and really wasn't really too much of a threat for our shield health for being ion shield, so that's pretty cool. I mean, I noticed a little bit more where enemies could hit you from the side, but as long as you're careful, it's not a big deal. So anyway, that's all I was going to have for you on this video. Once again, I appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.